Greetings fellow girls, guys and gaming fans. Welcome once again to Rising World Survival. This is Small Archangel, and in this episode we're going to be, confusingly, we're at the farmhouse, but we're going to be furnishing the lake house. Now the reason I've come back here, of course, is because of our forge, our smelter here, and our anvil, and basically we have a smithy here and we do not have a smithy at the lake house, and that's because, well, I make a rod for my own back by trying to be sort of, I don't know, realistic maybe? It doesn't seem like a smelter and all that would form a realistic part of the build of a lake house, so therefore I'm not going to do it. However, there are certain things that we require a lot of, and so I've come back here to make sure that we've got those resources, and then hopefully we'll have what it takes to furnish the house. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff so off camera for this episode, but first off, here we are at the farmhouse gathering the stuff that we're going to need. I'm going to set the forge going and smelter going to smelt some iron ore into ingots, so I've filled it with a maximum load, but this furnace has no fuel. Yes, there's been an update, which means that at long last I'm going to need to use the coal, which is now in my inventory. Thankfully, I do actually have some. Now, how many did I just put in there? Let me just fill this up a little bit. So each of these adds 40 fuel, it would seem. So I'll just fill it up kind of halfway or something. This is my first experience of doing this, and that should be okay. Okay, we've got a few. We've got a stack and a bit of coal in there, so it's just as well we kept the stuff that we found, because I knew that we were going to need it at some point. There we go, and I have no idea how quickly that actually burns through it. Not massively rapidly, so we'll just have to remember to turn it off. No more leaving the thing running by accident. Okay, now another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make the maximum. I'm going to make 20 light bulbs. I've decided that we're probably going to need to make roughly that many lights, and we need tungsten for lights. Now I think we only need them for the light bulbs. I think just the rest of it we're just going to need iron, and we're going to take iron with us, so hopefully we're going to be able to do that without any problem. Now what we are going to take with us, just going to move this out of my hand, we are going to actually borrow the tier 2 workbench, and I don't want that in my hand either, and we're going to borrow the anvil as well. They'll be coming back here because, as I say, they don't form part of my build plans for the lake house, oddly enough. And while that lot there is burning, I'm going to gather the rest of the material that we require. You can see I've got a load of cloth there. We're going to need that for furnishings and for making our beds and what have you, but there's various other things I've got in my shopping list, and this stuff's going to take a little while to smelt, so I will see you guys back at the lake house when I've got what I require, and I might just stock up on a little bit of food while I'm in my orchard. Okay, here we are back at home base. I'm hoping that I've got everything that we need. We look like we've got some ore here, but of course that's no use to us without an actual smelter. I have made a couple of changes off camera since the last episode, just to the windows on this elevation of the house. I've actually put some extra little windows in over the top of the door, because I thought it looked good, and also I've raised the top level of the window on either side of the door, and I've sort of made the wall higher underneath because I wanted more usable wall space in the kitchen there and more privacy perhaps in the bathroom, so I just thought that was a better arrangement, so that's what we've done. We're going to have to wait for the next episode for the outside of the house. We're going to be doing our front and back sort of garden deck areas in the next episode, but this episode we're going to concentrate on interior decorations. As I say, I'm going to do a lot of this stuff off camera because a lot of it's going to be kind of grindy stuff. So yeah, I'm making stuff, and if I need to get even more resources, then that's my problem basically. I want to keep this episode a sane length if I possibly can. It's also going to take several days to do this as well, because evening's coming on now as well, so I'm going to have to edit accordingly. So I think we're going to start. Perhaps we should start with the hallway. Perhaps that would make sense. So I will just shut these doors here. And we're not going to need ever so much in our hallway. So I'm going to go and dump the stuff that I brought from the farmhouse in our chest down here so that we have all our resources in one place. Oh, and I'm going to take a drink as well because kind of in the red here. The only furniture we actually have in this place at the moment is our little sleeping tent upstairs, which I will be using shortly, but we are going to add, for the moment, and we're going to have to move these out of the way at some point, obviously, we are going to add our tier 2 workbench and our anvil, and obviously these will not form part of the furniture. At the end of the day, they're going to be gone, and I'm going to take them back to the farmhouse, but they're here to facilitate us crafting the furniture we need to furnish this place. But for now, we're going to have to leave that till the morning. Alright, so let's get going with this. So, there's a couple of things that I actually want to make before we even start furnishing the house, and these are the new items which were added relatively recently. Nope, they're not in miscellaneous, they're in tools. No, they're not in tools. Resource, oh, I know they're in here somewhere. Utilities, here we go. We can make a clock, but it's a pocket clock rather than one we can put on the wall. We can make the compass, which we already have, we know about, but we can make a bucket, which is going to be useful for moving water around, so we're going to have one of those. And we can make a canteen, which is going to be useful for moving smaller amounts of water around and being able to drink. So let's see, I want to put that in my second slot there, and we will see if we can fill that from down here, and that means, yay, that means that we can drink. Oh look, it's even got a water level on it, that's cool. We can drink wherever we are. Not that we'll ever be far from water here, but we can drink from our canteen, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so where we're going to start, we've got the hallway, and the hallway's we're going to start fairly simply, not with a piano. We're going to just have a life-saving ring. No, but one of those would probably look quite cool next to the water, wouldn't it? We're going to have a couple of tables, so we're going to have some small tables, like not side tables, like this, I think. But we probably want some fairly sort of pale coloured wood, like that. I'm going for a kind of a bit of a slightly sort of IKEA feel about the place, so we'll have two of those. And then I've got a few posters which we could use for pictures and what have you. But then the other thing that I want to put in the hallway, I think we'll think about that afterwards, actually, because we'll want to do some decorative plants and things like that. But there's something I want to try with that, so we'll take our little tables for the time being. I might take a chair as well, actually, because a chair might look quite good. And again, we'll have that in this wood here. There we go. And then something else that I wanted to try as an experiment, and we'll see how that goes. I've got a few innovative ideas with the decoration of this house, which I haven't tried before, but I want to try out to see how they go, and so we'll give that a go. But mostly, as I say, I'm going to be furnishing stuff, and then I will make sure that anything different that I do is on camera. Okay, we'll start with a rug. All I really want here is a doormat. Nice and simple. Like so. And then we'll have one of these tables on each side, I think. Just make sure that we get them central. Like so. And then we have a chair, which I think I shall place next to the table on this side. And that is where I would have my phone if I was going to have a phone. Now I'd quite like to have some sort of carpet runner here, but I think I'd need a design that was specifically designed to be long and thin, because if we didn't have that, we'd probably find that yeah, it would look really, really stretched and weird. So, and we'll do lighting last of all, so I'm gonna leave lighting for the time being. Let's just have a swig out of our canteen. You can see we've got several uses worth of it there. And then the next thing I want to try, if you remember I said I wanted to try some things as an experiment here. I do indeed. I'm going to put this above our little table there, and I'm going to just perhaps shrink it down a little, like so. We'll try that kind of size. And then I'm going to try putting a poster on the top of it. Now I don't think this is going to work, is it? Ah, now it'll go in it like a frame, which is pretty cool actually. That's kind of what I wanted, so that's excellent. But obviously we don't, and it doesn't refit it to size too, just like a window. Ace, that is exactly what I wanted. That's brilliant. That's going to open up a whole world of possibilities for us. But what we really want is a piece of artwork here. Yeah, let's use that. Excellent, there we go. So we can make paintings really, really easily with proper frames on them. So we'll be putting lots of those around here as well. Okay, so that's kind of our hallway. As I say, it's a little bit bare underfoot, and there are other decorative items like plants that I want to put here as well. So let's just go see if we can make ourselves something, because there's another little experiment that I want to try, and if that works out, then again we're going to be able to decorate the whole place in a similar kind of way. So let's just go to decoration, plant pots. Okay, so we know we've got plant pots of various sizes, and that each of the plant pots that we can make actually has an option which has nothing in it at all, like that. Now I can't remember how big are these plant pots. I don't know. Let's see. Let's have one of those, but without a plant in it, and we'll just make one for the moment. But we need stone and we need dirt. We have both of those. I have stone here and I have dirt there, and we'll just make one of those for the moment. And then what I really want to know, I've got some flowers in here. What I really want to know is, can we put flowers into that empty flower pot? And this is why I'm only making one, because there's nothing very useful about a flower pot with nothing in it. So we're going to try putting this, I don't know, maybe next to the door. I'm not sure if that's the best place for it really. No, let's try putting it on here for the moment. We can move it if we need to at some point. So say this is in the spirit of experimentation. No, we can't. Well, that's very annoying actually. It would be lovely if we could place flowers in there, and I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to be able to do with an empty flower pot really. I would have thought putting flowers in it would be the most obvious thing to do, and I don't suppose that there's any way I can combine them in here either, is there? No, there is not. Okay, so that's disappointing. I was hoping that that mechanic was going to be there, but since it's not, well, we're just going to have to deal with whatever decoration there is actually open to us. Well, so that's the hallway pretty much finished. I've put in a carpet runner. I've got a painting on either side, nice and symmetrical, and then the front door has got a couple of little tables with plants either side of it as well. Again, nicely symmetrical, but and sort of a fairly clean, modern feel to it, which is what I'm going to aim for the entire house, really. The next room we're going to do, I think, is a bathroom. Now, this is a relatively generously sized room, and the obvious things to place in here, toilet and sink, we can make those, but I'd really quite like to make a shower unit and also a bath if we can fit them. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and I do have an idea of how we can possibly build a bath to go in here as well. How well it will work out, I'm not sure, but we can certainly give it a go. So that's That's next on the agenda. The bathroom is just about done. I've even used an image of a shower head to make the shower look a little bit more like a shower. Got a nice painting in here as well. A bit of Matisse. And then a nice modern looking mirror. And I've even put in a bath. It doesn't have a bath plug, but what I'm thinking is it'd be quite cool if we could actually put some water in the bath. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be possible. We have a bucket, but whether we can use a bucket like that, I don't know. But I thought now would be a good time to do an experiment with that, because if we can, then that's one sheet less for a little plan I have later on in the furnishing process as well. So we'll see. Okay, so we have a bucket full of water. Now, what we can actually do with a bucket full of water, other than running with it, which is really not a very good idea, I'm sure, we'll just see if we can actually tip this water into the bath. Yes, we can. Okay, it's kind of coagulated in a little blob. It's not really filling the bath at this point. But I'm thinking maybe with a few more buckets of water, we might have a nice full bath. And as I say, that means that we can do, if we can do something cunning later on as well, then that's really going to help. And can we drink that now? Yes, we can. Brilliant. I like it. Okay, so that's our bathroom. Now the next room we're going to do is the kitchen. And as I say, I'm going to do the lighting last of all. I'm going to make sure I put in lighting when it's dark so we can see when it's at its best advantage. So we're going to make some stuff for our kitchen. We're going to have units, obviously, so I'm going to put those in first. But what I really wanted to do here is a little bit innovative. I mean, we've done the fridge before with the blocks and the image on the front, and we'll do it again. But this time I want to see if we can do something similar with our cooking facilities, really. So on with the show. Okay, so here we have our kitchen basic layout. So I've got these, I've turned into some sort of dresser type thing, sideboard, and then we have our fridge as usual. I've put a painting in here and a plant for decoration as well. And here is where I really want to put our cooker. Now I've noticed that the grill is actually more or less the same height as the units, which is fantastic. So we're going to start out just by putting that in there, sort of in the middle like that. Yeah, that's going to be okay. We need to try and get this as precise as we can. Let's just see if we can. Yeah, I think we need G off for this task actually. So I want to get this so that the wooden part is just there, and then unfortunately we're going to get a little bit of wood showing on the top there, but there's probably something we can do about that, so we probably don't need to worry about that overly much. And then I need to get one of the many posters that I've made, and for this we're going to need an image for an oven, which is in here somewhere. And there we go, that kind of looks like a cooker. And then I'm thinking if we can get another one, and I'm not sure if we can do this without placing it. I'm not sure if we can just put it on there, because I don't think there's going to be anywhere for us to actually put it. It's going to want to go somewhere random, so we're probably going to need to place another frame here. This way about. And again, not sure if that's really going to work, but we're certainly going to try. So we need to shrink that down a bit. Okay, now this should hopefully go there, which is kind of just underneath the grill itself, and we can still use it. Oh, and I just turned it on by accident. There we go. So it still looks more like an oven it did before. Now that we've got the kitchen more or less sorted out, I want to do the living area. Obviously it's got our workbenches in it at the moment, but the first thing I want to do is a fireplace. Now I've done lots of fireplaces before, but what I'm really wanting now is a really modern kind of fireplace. So we're going to have our fire is going to go pretty much there, I think. But before we do anything else, I want to construct the hood of the thing. And what I'm thinking is that it would be kind of cool to have, let's see, something along these lines. And then I've got a couple of corners, one there, and then we're going to need another one of these, I guess, like that. And then sort of like that. Only we're going to need to take out a block of the ceiling to enable our sort of chimney flue to go up like that. Oh, and it's landed in the water apparently. There we are. And so our fire can go in there. Nice. And then the only thing that's lacking now is some glass, and I'd really like to sort of glass that in. Maybe not all on all four sides, or all three sides rather. We've got some glass in here. There, we've got some spare glass. So we'll give that a go, because I reckon that's going to perhaps look quite cool. Okay, and we're going to have to resize the glass, of course, and this I want to do without any frames at all, and I'll just get it kind of like that. That looks pretty nice. And then like that. Maybe the best thing is to make a kind of a smaller panel and put one on either side like this to sort of semi-enclose it. It's still not the most safe thing you've seen in your life, I'm sure, but then this house isn't exactly kids friendly. I mean, there's a nice death-defying staircase there, and then outside we have a sheer drop into some water, into a lake. So there we go, that's pretty much what I was after there, so that's fantastic. So that's our fireplace. Now we just need to arrange the rest of the room accordingly, and it's nice and open plan. It's fairly open plan to our kitchen as well. So I'm going to get working on that, and I will show you guys when I start doing the sort of more innovative things that I promised. Alright, so we're pretty much finished in here. We've got a nice little sitting area around our fire here. Plenty of modern art. I've got a little sideboard. Obviously this bench will be gone, as will the anvil that's currently under the stairs. And we've got a little desk and study sort of set up as well. And of course a piano, because I do like messing about on pianos in this game. But we do need a dining table. I'm hoping at this point that I'm going to be able to make one. I haven't done much in the way of construction in this game, largely because it's a pain in the proverbial. It's really quite difficult to do, and the elements of construction don't always behave in the way that you want or expect them to. So yeah, it's not particularly great from that point of view. But we're going to try anyway, because the dining tables that are in the game are kind of a bit restricted as to style, really. Let me just make sure I'm getting these. And I fancied making something bigger and maybe a little bit more fancy. Okay, I've just about got this now. Turns out this is one of the many things you just can't do with G enabled. The grid is best left off sometimes. Now that's not perfectly aligned, but it's near enough, I think, and it's pretty much the right height, I hope. Now whether we can place our frame or any frames within this, yeah, we should be able to, although it's probably going to take more than one. So now I think, no, we still can't place G. Okay, let's see. It could be a little bit interesting trying to get the right size, both for the frame itself, that's about right, and for the width of it as well, actually, because it could be we're going to have to try and put in 2 or maybe 3 panes, and getting them the right size to fill even amounts is going to be interesting. Okay, so I decided in the end the easiest thing to do was just to make the outside panes and then stick one in the middle, even if it is a little bit smaller than the others. So we've now got some glass, and I actually want to try a couple of different types of glass to see if we prefer this stuff or the plain stuff. And actually I think I prefer the plain. Kind of ties in nicer with the other stuff that we have around the place. So we'll get the glass out of there now. And then I have some planks here as well. And the reason I've got these planks is because I want these areas here to be shelving. So, no, I've hit the wrong button again. We're gonna make some shelves. Now again, the shelves in the game are, we need that to be the other way around actually, and we need this to be shorter, are a little bit limiting. So we've got the modern ones that we've got over there either side of the piano, and that's fine, but I thought it might look quite cool if, that's not right, I thought it might look quite cool if we made some shelves that just recessed into the wall here, and so that's what I've done pretty much. There we go, and I've got 3 to put on the other side as well, so I just want to make sure that they match up. Basically one there, and one there. And the other thing that I'm a bit fed up of really in this game is the fact that we can't really put anything on our shelves. And that's kind of what I meant, but I didn't really intend them to be sort of stuck to the back wall. I wanted them to be sort of standing up sort of part way along, but what we might have to do, we might have to use another plank as a basis for that. So let's just stick our grid on again. Voila, that has actually worked out pretty well. I did have to place planks behind the books in order to be able to get the images to stick, but in the end it worked. And yeah, it looks like I've actually got some books in my living room, which I'm pleased with. I've also added some chairs around the table. Now to me that dining table looks really, really low. Either that or my height is really, really, I don't know, but it now looks the right kind of height for the chairs, or maybe it's a little bit low. The trouble is I couldn't get the legs to be any taller than that or any shorter than that without hovering off the ground, so that's kind of really annoying. So I'm just going to deal with it the way it was. It'll do. So we're going to, now we've got one more room to do, and that is the bedroom, which currently just contains this tent, which we're going to remove. There we are. And we're going to be a little bit limited as to how much stuff we can actually fit up here, but then we're also, there's not that much stuff we actually need to put up here, because we've got most things that we need already downstairs. So it's basically just going to be a case of making a bed and putting up here, and maybe having some sort of dresser and rugs and things as well. So we're limited as to what furniture we actually have available in the game anyway. Okay, so the first thing to place obviously is going to be the bed. Again, in this game our beds are a little bit kind of basic, and yeah, we don't have very much choice when it comes to the beds, and it had occurred to me to perhaps have a go at, should I try and place that a little bit closer actually, so that it looks like a double bed. It had occurred to me to try and sort of build some sort of structure around these as well, to make it look as though, to make it look more bed-like, perhaps with the use of images and things too. That's still not quite straight. However, I was principally concerned that that would kind of mess up the functionality, and principally what we want a bed that is functional and will act as a respawn point also. Alright, I think we've just about got those straight now. It's another one of those things where you need to take it off grid. And here, well, I probably want that to be roughly in line with the bed itself, so we'll place it there. And then we'll have to get it roughly the same on the other side. There we go. And then I've got a chest which might be better off at the bottom of the bed like that, as if it's a blanket box or something. There we are. And then I've just got a couple of little tables, and I thought I'd put one here, which should look quite nice, maybe with a plant on it, although maybe the smaller plant would be better in this case. Otherwise it'd be clipping through the... well, it's clipping through the roof a little bit already. And then... oh, I only made one. Well, we'll put a large plant just at the top of the stairs on this side like this for decoration. There we go, a larger plant. And then I guess probably what we need up here, it's a slightly awkward shaped room. You couldn't hang curtains up here if you wanted to. What we need up here now, we've got another bit of decorative stuff, and we can maybe try a couple of paintings, one either side of the bed there, and maybe a couple of rugs as well. There we go, a nice armchair to finish the place off. Possibly we'll be able to place this ceiling fan too, which might look good. There we go, just to make sure that we don't get too warm up here in our little loft. And the bed is kind of disappointing, really. The bed's kind of a bit, sort of lets the room down slightly, I feel. It's starting to get evening now, so it's probably going to be a good idea for us to look into lighting. Now, I've got... no, we don't want to remove it. I've got all sorts of things. We've got a load of light bulbs, which we're going to have to get first, actually, because I've left them in the chest down here. Now I've got storage capacity in the house, of course, we're going to be able to empty the stuff out of the chest, but there's all my light bulbs. And let's just make sure we've got iron, we're going to got rods and what have you. I think we've got the anvil in the house, and I think all we're going to need is iron for that, so we're just going to get on and do some lighting now. Alright, so we've got lots of light bulbs. We don't, I think, need a fluorescent lamp. Let's hope not anyway. Coloured lights I might use outside possibly, but not inside. And those are going to be pretty good for outside too. So I've got some lighting. It's fairly subtle, mostly. Got a couple of lamps in the hall. I like these standard lamps. I think they shed a nice kind of light. And a little lamp on the desk. And then I did use some fluorescent tubes in the kitchen, because I thought that was more appropriate, really. And then the bathroom has just got some more little wall lamps on. And as you can see, I did fill the bath in the end as well. And as I say, we'll make use of that mechanic later on in the build when we do the outside as well. Now we've just got a couple more lights to do, and I'm going to make 2 of those because I think they've got a nice modern feel to them, and we're going to place those up here in our bedroom. We've got some light bleeding through from below, but we're going to place these one on each bedside table, and that should probably give us sufficient light up here. There we go. And we'll probably need some lights outside our house as well. But we're going to deal with those in the next episode at the same time as doing the outside part of the house. So obviously we're going to carry on and make our deck for the outside of here, so we don't just have a nice view inside, we can enjoy the view from outside as well. And out the front here, by the door, we're going to have sort of a garden area, really. So we're going to have to level this off, and as I say, I think I've come to the conclusion that the easiest way by far of doing that is going to be to use the creative menu. Heck, I don't use it very much, but I feel like it's justified here. So folks, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you like what I've done with the place. I'm sure that there are ways in which I could have improved it. This table is definitely Japanese style, I think. It's kind of too low, but as I say, it's a problem with the legs there and making them the right kind of length, which makes it frustrating. But I might have another go at that and try and make it a little bit taller. There are ways and means, I'm sure, but other than that, I'm pretty pleased with the place, especially this living area. I think it looks really stylish and really nice, and I like the modern art as well. We've got lots of Picasso and Matisse and Kandinsky around the place, so that gives a spot of colour along with our nicely placed books there. And I'm kind of pleased with the cooker in the kitchen as well, although, as I say, it would have been nice if we'd have been able to get the image of the hob above the top of the cooker, but I just was really struggling to do that, even with the grid turned off, because obviously we can still get at it through stuff. It's pretty clear we can get it through that, so again, I might have another little go at that to see if I can get that finished as well. The only trouble with these images is they don't respond to light very much. In fact, they don't respond to the light at all. So we've put some lights in the place and they're still in the dark, which looks kind of weird, and hopefully the devs will do something about that. These ones seem to be alright. They seem to be, you know, appropriately lit, but most of them are not. Most of them are in the dark, but hey, you can't have everything. The game's still in development. Okay guys, so as I say, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Please feel free to leave any comments, hints, tips and suggestions. And I do hope you'll join me for the next episode when we will be making the garden, the outside of the house. And then I think I'm just going to live in it for a while, because I quite like it. But we will have another building project going on as well. I know that we do a lot of building in this game, but that's because the survival element is fairly minimal. Dungeons will be added before too much longer, and we'll be making use of those when they are, and then coming back to our nice civilized pad, whichever one we choose to call home. But until then, we're going to finish this build. So I hope, as I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, keep gaming, stay happy. Bye bye for now.